Welcome to a Goshen Health OneChart ambulatory implementation video. Today's topic, front office, scheduling a patient. The QuickBook. This is part 2 of a 7-part series. The mission of the OneChart project team is to implement a unified EMR that will continue to elevate the exceptional care provided to our patients and surrounding communities by streamlining communications and workflows throughout our organization and enhance patient engagement. As always, here is the reminder. Please remember that we are still currently building in the system, and the screens may change from time to time based upon the decisions that are made for the workflows and the build. This video is to help you see the functionality of the system and begin to understand the details of your work. Today's topic will focus on the QuickBook. Remember, there are 7 types of patient scheduling. We've already discussed the full book. Today will be the QuickBook. We have group bookings, the walk-in, scheduling a meeting, scheduling a reserve, and scheduling the non-clinic, or as Meditech calls it, the B&V. Please go to your desktop and choose the Expanse WPL test icon. You should be brought to a screen that looks similar to this. Please enter your Goshen email in the top cell. Next, enter your password and click Sign In. This screen should look familiar to you. We will click on Ambulatory and Office Staff. Typically, there are 2 locations that you can schedule a patient, the scheduling grid and the patient summary screen. In this case, the only place we will be able to complete the QuickBook is in the scheduling grid. So let's click on the scheduling grid icon up in the black navigation bar. We will begin by selecting an open cell. Our last video, we covered the full book. QuickBook means I am going to get the patient in as quickly as possible. So let's click on QuickBook. Once again, you will search for your patient. You will search by birth date. I need to search by name. Select your patient. This screen is truncated from what you saw in the last full book video. Notice it states it's QuickBook. It does have a spot for the patient's picture. It has the patient's name. In this case, the patient has been enrolled in the patient portal because I can see a little blue icon versus the grayed out icon. Shows us the patient's age, sex, date of birth, who the PCP is, and the rest of the screen is just focused on getting the patient scheduled. You do have the patient's phone number and primary insurance at the top, along with the patient's address. We do not have the accordions to the right in which we can make any changes on the screen. Let's proceed down the screen. It does show us the facility, Goshen Physician Ambulatory. And just as we saw on the full book, we have the appointment. I can either click the drop down and scroll through all my appointments, or if I would like to, I can type in the first couple letters of the appointment I would like, and it will bring it to the top. Select your appointment. As we move down the screen, we will see the location and visit provider were pulled in based upon the schedule that we clicked on to begin this process. We now have reached the visit reason. As with full book, I have the ability to use the look ahead function. I can choose from the pick list, or I could continue to type out and create a free text of what I want in that cell. Let's choose from the list. It brought in the date and time based upon where I selected on the schedule. I may enter a comment here, and that will be shown on the clinical home screen for the provider and our office colleagues. If at any time I feel like I need the benefit of a full book, I can scroll to the very bottom of my screen and click Full Book, and it will open up the full book process. If not, I can click Save. Just as an FYI, there is a discussion going on as to whether QuickBook would be the right process for Goshen Health offices. This screen does not allow us to review with the patient their demographics, their insurance, their pharmacy, and many other items that you touch upon each and every time you speak with your patients. It loses some of the consistency that you've worked so hard to build. Please do not be surprised if in the future you are asked not to use the QuickBook functionality. We show it to you now so that you understand the functionality exists and that you are able to maneuver through this part of the system. To finish our QuickBook, please click Save. Once again, the patient's appointment shows on the screen. If for any reason the provider asks us to extend that appointment, I can take my mouse and put it on the bottom part of that appointment and pull down. It now has extended it to a half-hour appointment. As mentioned at the beginning of this video, QuickBook can only be performed in the scheduling grid. If I go over to the patient summary section, choose my patient, I do not have that option on this screen. In order to return back to the scheduling grid, I have several options. I can click on the close button and that will shut down this screen. I can come back to my return to button and click on the X next to the patient summary, or I can simply click Schedule Grid. That is the end of our QuickBook video. Thank you for your time.